everyone, and welcome back to
Hello.
Curio City. I'm your host, Lauren Deliri.
And I'm Adam Frost.
He's my co-host and
I do my best.
lover.
Aw, you're my lover too.
So, welcome back, everyone. It's just the
Oh my God. Two of us. No, I told you we can't do this. This can't be the thing.
This is the thing. That is the intro to...
We're going to need rights to that song at some point.
Every other week, it's just the two of us, and that's what I'm going to sing most weeks. So before we jump in, I, of course, wanted to say thanks to everyone who leaves reviews. We love you guys so much, and they mean a lot. Amazing. I want to read one from Mickey Mouse.
From Mickey Mouse?
Mickey Mouse himself.
What an honor.
I know, right? Lauren and Adam are fearless in their pursuit of knowledge and diverse perspectives, and bold in their sharing their own messy, that's facts, complex and beautifully evolving journeys. So grateful for them and the community they've built with this show. Heart.
Oh.
Thank you.
Our whole goal is to build the community. That's kind of been the whole thing the whole time.
That's the whole shebang.
We're just trying to make friends over here.
Truly.
This is how we know how. So thank you guys for being a part of it.
Thank you for listening.
And contributing so much. Comments and questions and reviews and all that makes us feel like it's a bigger conversation than just us and the people we have on.
True. Adam and I were recently on a little brunchy date.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, we realize that we haven't had just a sit down where we don't have our laptops and we don't have a plan. We're just going to go somewhere new. Usually it's somewhere kind of fresh for us.
We need the adventure.
We need something, something new, something to spice up our mental patterns.
Yeah.
And we went to a place here in Nashville. It's sick. Do you remember what it's even called? It's in a new hotel.
Well, the motel is called The Drift.
Okay, yeah.
Or Drift Motel, Nashville.
Yeah, and it was sick. So we loved it. But when we were there, we got to talking. We were just
as we do.
And we were
talk a bit.
blabbing. And it was so amazing to kind of just work through. Because we also
I feel we had so much growth happen recently that we haven't had a chance to talk about because we've just had our heads down so much.
Yeah.
And just doing the work and just, trying to come up with the next thing, book the next podcast guest that we haven't been able to actually let our feelings out and our dreams connect in a long time. Right.
And we hadn't whenever we talk to each other, I feel like we're working through it.
Yeah.
We're kind of, at least for me, I mean, I think you are too, but I feel like I'm putting all the pieces of my thoughts that I've had over the past week, 2 week, month, whatever, where I'm just oh yeah, that goes with that goes with this. I see why I had that train of thought and anyway, so
we're each other's sounding wall for sure.
Yeah. And a lot of that happened on Saturday, I said, when we went to our little brunch date spot. And so I did want to talk about, I guess, the theme personally for me, that I was kind of realizing. I've had a lot of personal revelations recently.
Yeah.
I found a lot of peace in letting go of a lot of things.
It's felt less like an evolution and more like a reclamation, because it's so much of the person that I've known since, well, really, it's the person I really knew before we started dating.
Yeah. It's interesting. An interesting perspective. But yeah, I've done a lot of we're always healing, we're always growing, but I feel like this was definitely the most just personal development and not so much involved with anybody or any other entity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I said, I did have a lot of letting go that I did, and letting go of some pains that I've had, and I can go into that. But the main thing I kind of want to focus was more on the aspect of that we've talked about a lot here on the podcast, actually, trying on things, right? So trying on things, if you are gravitated towards trying on a new style or trying out a different career, or, trying on being an atheist, or trying on, being spiritual or this or whatever, just try it on for a while and see how it feels. And I very much stand by that. But I realize a lot of the things that are really life changing for me recently is discovering ways that or attributes about myself that have been seen either by myself or by other people as positive things, but how those positive things have kind of gotten in my way.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I've realized and known about myself is that I like a lot of things. And it's something I like about myself is that I see everyone as, as beautiful, and truly like all bodies are beautiful. And I'm like, I like all different like styles and people's style. And I don't have like, this is going to sound weird, but I don't really have like negative opinions about people's choices.
Yeah.
Like I've always thought that was me being passive.
Like
in the
you
past,
didn't have your own preferences.
Yeah. In the past, I felt like passive because somebody, everyone around me, especially my family, they're like very opinionated about other people and other people's choices. And I just don't really care as much. I'm more like, yeah, but like I like it for them. Like I think if
they love it, I love that they're
nice.
embodying something that feels authentic.
And and I don't know, that just feels very like who I am. And like I said, I at some points thought that meant I was a passive person with no opinions. But then I graduated from that thought perspective to the perspective of, like I like everything.
Yeah.
And that's a more positive way to look at it, is that like I'm actually a very excitable person versus passive, right? That's not the right, that's actually, that's more negative, but I'm an excitable person. I get excited about different styles. I get excited about different careers. I have myself had different like hair colors and styles, and like I like it on people. And so you'd hear this and be like, okay, so this sounds good. Like sounds like you're a non-judgmental, like accepting person. True. However, this comes to like a problem, like it turns into a problem when I can't really feel what it is I'm meant to do or what I really
what
like
you
for
personally
me.
like.
Because I like, bohemian style and tomboy style and this style and that, and like all the different things. And that's one example. So like I said, like fashion and style is one example. Career is another example. How you show up on social media is another example, right? Like I'm just going to give all those like different examples of like what I mean about like what I like visually, what I like. I'm seeing it and I'm like, oh, I'm excited by that. So it's hard for me to know if I like that. And I've never known the differentiation between I like that versus I like that for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that needed to be differentiated.
Yeah.
Until very recently. So this is the realization I've had. This is the revelation that I've had.
Yeah.
And it's important because as I've learned in human design, I've learned so much about myself through human design. It's amazing. I highly recommend. But I have like, it's been verified to me that yes, I'm an excitable person. I have 7 out of 9 things like open, like undefined. So it's like I project, like I get excited in all those different areas. Like I get just as excited for somebody else as if it's happening to me. And so it's hard to differentiate, like, again, if it's for me or if I just like it.
I think specifically a lot of people, they don't need to differentiate between I like that and I like that for me, because they take their opinions and the way that they want to look and function and feel in the world from what they see other people doing. You're just not a consumer of other people. Like that just isn't how you operate in the world. And so your opinion isn't necessarily crafted around what other people are doing in the world. You are a permission giver. Like you want to make everybody feel validated and like they are supported and championed in the things that they like and they do. And what you can tend to do is you can mirror to be able to like feel like you're encouraging and empowering people. And I think for you, that is a way that you socially bond with people, but I don't think it's a way that you create self-definition. And so like, I think there's a lot of people that actually, they don't need that separation because the way that they define themselves is by the people they surround themselves, the content they consume. But for you, I think you're such a low consumption human and so much of a creator in the world and so much of a, like, you like exactly what you like. You want to build out your own thing and you design the world that you want to live in and the person that you want to be, in the same way that you want to be given permission, in the same way that you give other people permission to express yourself. And I think that's why you have had so much difficulty separating the two, is because I don't know that you realize how differently you operate from other people.
I think that's an interesting take, like that I'm a creator and that I don't consume, because I feel like I do consume. I feel like I don't know, but I feel like I'm trying to change the way I'm just mirroring all the time. I feel like I get lost in that because then because it's confusing, because when I mirror somebody, I'm mirroring usually what they love and what they are excited about. And so by mirroring that, I'm also excited because they're excited. And so it's confusing to me because I have the feelings of excitement and like, oh, this is what I like, because it's what somebody else likes.
Yeah.
So okay, I know this is all like, feels like it's going round and round, but really another element to my human design is I learned that I'm supposed to be a specific manifestor. And for a while, it's been kind of hard for me to like really grasp what that means. But I think what's most important about that is that and now like that I'm learning, is that I need to visualize me as that thing and see if it's for me. So let's just give an example, right?
Okay.
So say it's like a specific style that somebody's like wearing, or like a vibe that they're like, you know, it's like an all neutrals, very classy, classic, you know, whatever. Let's just say like that vibe. I like it as with my eyeballs. I'm like, that's beautiful. Also, if somebody I'm with loves that vibe, then I love it for them. Like, oh, that's right. So when we're together, like I like that because I become that with that person. And I think that's correct. But what I'm learning that I need to do is to not just envision that person or that style in my head to see if I like it, but to literally visualize me as me right now, me, not some future me, not a taller me, a thicker me, a skinnier me, a wiser, richer, no other version of me, no future version of me wearing that outfit. But me right now with this hairstyle, with this body type, with like just me, like this face, with everything I've got going on right now, with the jewelry I like right now, whatever. It's like, if I can picture myself right now wearing that outfit and I like it, then I'm like, okay, then that's for me. But if I picture me as me wearing it and I'm like, you know what, that's like, doesn't really fit, but it fits like a me with like a longer hair with taller this and that, like, that's not me.
Yeah.
Then I'm not liking that for me. I'm liking that for somebody I'm making up in my head. And that's not, it's not like a low self-confidence thing that I wish I was something else. It's just, I'm picturing what is best, what I think like looks best in that vibe. And
writing yourself into the role.
And I'm writing myself into the role.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of
allowing it to just be somebody else.
Yeah. Putting me into like imagining as if it's me. And when I do that, then I'm like, okay, I like that, but not for me. Yeah. So the same thing with careers, where I'm just like, I'm learning to be like, you know, whether somebody's a writer or somebody's like, you know, that's what they do for a living, or they like, you know, write poetry, or they're like a really amazing, like boudoir photographer, you know, all these things I've like are a part of who I am and things I've done and whatever, or they're this type of podcaster, or they're whatever. It's like, I love that. And I get confused with what I'm supposed to do, because I'm like, you are making this seem so attractive. Like, kudos to you.
Yeah, you did it.
You're making me want to be you. Like, and again, not in a jealous way, but like, I'm just like, I I admire and I'm so inspired.
I want to feel what it
lives.
feels like to do what you're doing.
Yes, to like wake up and like just drink coffee immediately and write for 3.5 hours. I idolize that. I like, it's like this Pinterest vibe to me, or somebody who wakes up and just goes out and like shoots, photo shoots, not shoots people, but like, taking photos of people, or, again, there's like so many examples I could give, like of different careers, but I'm just giving my examples, different things. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so idealistic. This is what you do. And then you grab a coffee and you go out to meet somebody and I'm like, oh, that's the life I want to live. Or like, I can come up with these stories of being like, this is magical. So what I have to do to be like, okay, but is this for me?
Yeah.
I have to imagine me.
You have to manifest very specifically.
Right now, me.
Yeah.
I have to be like, the short hair me, where this body, because I feel like we talked about this on Saturday, but like in my visualizations and my like, I'm thinking about the future of like what I could be. I almost don't think, I think about like what I like younger me thought older me was going to look like and be like. So I visualize this, again, this isn't saying I wish I was like this. This is just what I visualized as a kid, because I was like really tall as a child, tall for my age. Yeah. So I imagine like this tall girl with like really long hair, who wore her hair in like high ponytails and wore this type of outfits because of what I wore as a kid or what my mom dressed me. And I imagined what I would wear as an adult. So when I visualize my future, I have recently realized that I still visualize that version.
Like you still don't know who adult Lauren is.
Yes. And I'm like, I'm 30.
Yeah. I know who I am.
I turned out to be 5'3", and I rock the short hair, and I, all these different things about myself that I am, and that what I look like, whatever. And the personality that I have even is like a little different than what I even visualized as a kid. So I have to visualize myself as me now, stepping into that. And I'm like, would me now, can I visualize that? Can I see that? And it's made a huge difference for me, because now I could be like, oh, I love that thing.
Yeah.
I love that career. I love that style. I love that way of showing up on social media. Like that's confused me too. I'm like, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I put like, I'm so inspired by so many different things, but I'm like, but do I like making it?
Yeah.
Do I like that? Right. And so that's been like my main big realization lately.
I think when you're a kid, you tend to envision yourself older, because that will be when you get to make your own decisions and you have the power to be and do what you want. Yeah. And so you picture yourself older doing the things that you would want to potentially do. But then when you're an adult now, you have the power, you have the ability to do it. And so, but you still want to project further into the future where you have more time and you have more ability to do X, Y, and Z, more money, and all of these other things where you want to just kind of offset that power. But I think for the sake of actually manifesting what you want, it is so important to picture yourself now, because right now is when you have the power. Right now is when you have the time and the money and the availability and the dreams and the energy to do what it is that you actually want to do. And I think that's such an important and such a good shift.
It makes me wonder, like, as a kid, when you were a kid, did you picture you as a kid? Like, did you picture like, oh, I want to be a teacher? And did you picture you as your kid self? Like,
no, I pictured myself as
like an adult.
Mac from SSX Tricky, if anybody knows who that is. And that's basically what I've done. He was the snowboarder in this game that I liked, and he always had messy bedhead hair.
Cute.
And he was tall. And I was like, I always wanted to be tall. I would literally pray at night. I was like, God, I don't need to be able to grow facial hair, but I'll trade you facial hair if I can be tall.
And you got it.
Got a little bit of both.
You
I got
did
the height
get a little bit of both.
The facial hair's coming in.
Yeah, that's
I got
true.
teased at the beginning because I couldn't, but
I actually prayed to be short. So I actually technically got my wish too.
There you go. Yeah, I think for me, I didn't visualize myself as a kid. But I also didn't think of myself as a kid. So I think that goes into a whole different version of like
But like,
that
at what
conversation.
point do we stop? Yeah. So when does that happen? Like, at what point, I guess I'm realizing or learning now that this is my point, where I stop visualizing a future me. I have to visualize me right now. And that's a great way to that's a great like manifestation tip, is like, because if I imagine myself in a later situation or a version of me that doesn't exist, in the house I want, and the career I want, and with the friends that I want, and the bliss that I want, but I'm like a different version than I am now, then one, that version of me may never come.
Yeah.
Or two, it may be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Yeah. And what if I want that now? What if I want that in 6 months?
It puts way more barriers to the dream.
And my manifestations and the ability for that to come in now.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm realizing like how much of my life I'm needing to redo my visualizations for it and put me, the actual current version of me, in that visualization to really know if it's truly.
You don't need an adult version of you to be able to do the things that you want anymore.
Yeah.
But you did when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like that. I think that's so cool that that's what you're coming into right now. Like, what a season for it.
Yeah.
Because like, it really is just such a like, it really is just such a powerful switch to be able to say that, no, I can have this. Me, the person that I am right now, is the one that has the ability to live into the things that I want.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait for somebody else. I don't have to be somebody else. I don't need the lifestyle to make the dream happen.
You know, one of the things that I'll just end with this before we go into a couple of the questions we have. One of the things that made me kind of realize this as well is that when I went to go get my nails done recently, and they're like this bright purple color, I went with my sister, and she got this like brown color, and it was so pretty. And I actually really liked the brown. So I've actually, like, nothing against brown. Like, I thought it was so pretty. But I was like seeing that like all the colors I liked, I was like, oh, I like these colors. And I point at them. She's like, oh, those are like, none of those are calling to me. And all these calling to me. And I was like, yeah, not me. Like, it just, and hers, even when she was like choosing a color, it was like just different. It was like more like orange, red, yellow, like that type. And I was like purple, blue, pink, like just like whatever. It doesn't really matter. But hers were like more neutrals as well, like browns and creams and, you know, really, 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 really dark colors that are almost black and like whatever. So I was like, I almost had like a thought cross my mind, just being like, oh, am I wrong? Like, am I wrong for like liking these things? I'm like, am I not seeing it right? And luckily that went away really. Like, I was able to be like, oh my gosh, this is so great that I'm having this thought. Like, because I'm not wrong. Like, I visually like these more. Like, they're making me happy. And like, this is
what I want to see when I look down at my hand.
Yeah. And I've just always like aligned myself with somebody else with what they like. I'm like, I also can tend to give away my power and like what I like and like, you know, what makes me happy. Like, I know now also in my body, if it makes me kind of like squeal or like kind of just like
the cute aggression type feeling.
Cute aggression. If I have like cute aggression, then yes, it's for me. If I have like, wow, that's pretty, like that's beautiful, or like
and you like picture yourself more elegant, or you picture yourself more
just like something else. Like if I'm just like, oh wow, that's gorgeous, instead of being like, oh, I love that. That's different.
Like, I want to be somebody who could have that versus this is so perfect for me.
Exactly. I had that moment, and so I was like thinking. So I was like texting my sister afterwards. And I was like, so do you like your nails? Whatever. And I was like, you know, you're classier than me. Like, you're just like, that's your thing. You're classier than me. And like, I accept it. And in a way that was totally like a joke, because like, I don't consider myself not classy. But in a way it was me like recognizing like, she and I have totally different styles, and like that's okay. And like I can have different styles than like my best friends, and even with you, like we don't have to agree on styles either, and like that's okay. And I think I'm just like, that was just another element of me realizing like what's for me and what's not for me. And anyway, that was just like one of those final pieces.
Yeah, I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see who you choose to be, because I know so many facets of you, and you've been through so many evolutions and changes and versions of yourself. And I'm like, I'm curious how many of those will end up being pieces of yourself instead of versions of yourself.
Right.
I'm so curious to see how it all comes together.
Yeah. Me too. And most of the important people in my life recently have also like in the past couple months have asked me to be more me.
Yeah.
And to speak up more and to show up more fully. And because I have felt like I haven't. And I do feel like it's all coming together. Like all those elements are like, it's time to like show up more fully, but you have to know what is you to begin with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not just you being excited or a mirror or anything. It's like, what is you and your desires and like what lights you up, not what is just beautiful. Because at the end of the day, I think everything's beautiful. And that's not a problem, but it does make it hard to make choices.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 questions that we're going to answer.
I'm excited.
And
what do we have from you guys?
Oh, this is interesting.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
It says, what style, clothing-wise, do you like the other wearing best?
I think you already know. I like you when you're wearing like cropped shirts, baggy pants.
He likes when
I
Jenny
like
from
when
the
you
block.
look. Yeah, Jenny from the Block style. I like you in skater type clothes, like I like me in skater clothes. Like I want you and I to basically have interchangeable wardrobe. I
like that look too. I just need more of that clothes.
Yeah.
I need to like know how to dress more like that.
Yeah. That's always my favorite on you, but always a crop, because you've got a great body. I'd hate for you to put it in a big old boxy t-shirt.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I like when you wear that. That's how I wear my skater girl stuff a lot of times. Is boxy.
Yeah. You just gotta. I like when you specifically accentuate boxy t-shirts with something that I can see more of your legs or your shoulders or your arms. Like
I'm like I go all baggy, and he's like, "Where are you?"
Well, I like that. I like that too for a look. But if I'm going my full preference,
okay.
Yeah, but I also like I've told you before. I like that one like iridescent one piece that you have with like actual like cargo pants.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of thing with heels or with boots or whatever. I like it a little cyberpunky. I like it a little like aggressive.
Yeah. I would say like anime girl a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you like that.
But I'm excited to see how you incorporate that part of your style into the colors that you're liking now, that you're really coming into. Yeah. That'll be fun.
I like whenever you just like try something like extra. That's fun. I typically like sporty. Like I like when you look sporty, I guess.
Yeah.
But you don't really have sporty stuff, so like
there's occasions that it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Almost on accident.
I like, well, basically anytime I can see your muscles, I like it. But also I like when you're super cozy sweaters.
You like me in Air Force Ones with baggy, but not
too. You haven't worn those in so long.
Yeah, they're all dingy. I got to get new ones.
You're right. I forgot. That is what I like.
Yeah, and you like me in like pants that could like almost like these ones. Pants that could almost be dress pants with a loose straight cut. And you like me in like a tight-ish shirt or
it doesn't have to be tight.
Or something with the long cut boxy sleeves.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Of course. I know it.
Okay. Love that. And then the last one. Do you have any baby names picked out already?
Yes, we have 3.
2 of them are interchangeable with like if they're a boy or a girl. One of them is not.
one of them is specifically a boy name.
No.
Well, one of them is specifically a boy name.
No, that could be a girl's name.
Yeah.
But the one girl name is not a boy's name.
True. I mean, it could be, but
it'd be not according to us. No.
So yes, but we've had them for like ever. We've had the same 3 names basically for our entire relationship.
Same 3 first names.
Yes, yeah, first names. Middle names we've kind of been trying to sort out, but yeah, same 3 first names, and we still really love them.
Yeah,
pretty much in the same order. There's one that I'm starting to lean a little bit more toward, but that's just me.
We'll see what happens when the time comes.
You'll hear him at some point.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it. Those are the questions. But
okay, great.
That was fun.
Amazing. What a fun way to end it.
I know this was a little bit more like
narrative.
Yeah, thank you. More narrative. Mm-hmm. But I did kind of tease it on my Instagram and I said I was going to talk about it.
I just love your brain. I love your functions, as we like to say around here. And I just think it's fun to hear you solve your own problems in your brain.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I'll support where I can.
Thanks. Them too, I guess. Yeah. They just are here listening to me sort out my brain.
Yeah. You guys are sweet.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you guys.
We do. We love you. We're in love with you.
We're in love with you. Tune in next time for Larry's silly song. What is that?
Tune in next time where Larry sings a silly song. Bye, guys.
Bye. Stay curious. I love you guys. Until next time. Bye.